Word is born, you got 6 minutes on that jack, kid, or shit is real.
Yo, check this shit out, man.
Hey, yo, God, give me a cigarette, man.
Yo, here you go. Yo, check it out, man. Check out what I got here, man.
What is that? What's that?
Yo, it's a letter I got from my man Nas, man. Word is born.
Yo, what it say, kid?
What up, kid? I know shit is rough doing your bid. When the cops came, you should've slid to my crib. Fuck it, black, no time for looking back, it's done. Plus, congratulations, you know you got a son. I heard he looks like you. Why don't you lady like
That's so good. That's so good. Just that turkey cheese.
Hello, everybody. We are in the heart. We're in the center of Madcap. As you can see, we have all the amazing baristas right behind me. Look at that beautiful coffee machine. We got all the merchandise over there. The Premier skate decks. Yeah, and over here, as you can see, we do have a blueberry muffin. And as you know, we have a thing on this show when it comes to blueberry muffins. But first, we must also take a sip of this coffee. As you can see, I already did take a little bit of a sip because it was so good, but we'll get one on the camera. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Blueberry Muffin Report. This one is still not sponsored by Dave Ramsey, but Dave Ramsey, if you're still looking for more people sponsored before the end of the year, we're still taking checks, okay? We might have a new number one. Yeah. I'm gonna have to digest this a little bit more, but first few bites, that's an incredible muffin, I must say. And also the turkey croissant that Sam got was also fantastic. Yeah, very impressed. I have been here before, but it's been a while, so. Yeah, everything's good so far.
Hi, didn't see you there. Well, what we got here is a turkey and cheese croissant. Very good. You can clearly tell I've already taken some bites of it. But wow, the cheese and the turkey complement each other to an insane degree that I couldn't even describe. Probably over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Why does the United States use Fahrenheit? Besides the point. I'm gonna drink some hot coffee right now. This is a latte with oat milk and a little bit of honey. See, I just want to let it sit in my mouth because the honey had such a complimentary sweet flavor to already the creamy oat milk with the awesome espresso to create this blend of sweet, nutty, creamy explosion. I'm dead ass.
Well, it's been lovely chatting here with Sam, and you guys, of course. I'm gonna finish up this muffin, this exquisite muffin. I'm gonna finish up this beautiful latte. Maybe chop it up with Sam a little bit more. And then we'll see you guys back in the studio later today with McKenna, of course, our amazing engineer, and my lovely co-host, Sam Beckman, who's behind the camera right now. And yeah, this has been the Mean Bean on the ground floor, and we'll see you back in the studio.
the chick you heard from Pasadena to Medina. Bet big, get in between you then. See the prognosis, doses, blends and bends like Twizzlers. Biggest.
All right. You know, I had to hold back because I'm getting so excited, but sorry, got loud off the rip, but it's the Mean Bean Show with my host, Colin Yard. What's up, man?
Not much. How about you, Sam? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I did. I had a good Thanksgiving. I ate really bad. Like, really bad. Didn't work out that much. Like, I went for some walks.
Bad as in, like, good, or, like, bad as in, like, bad food?
Bad as in good. Like really good food. Like, devastating amount of... Like, I'm not a potato guy. Like, I don't eat potatoes, but when it comes to Thanksgiving, give me the mashed potatoes and give me the, like, fattiest gravy of all time, you know?
What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
You see, I don't know, because it's really easy for me to say stuffing, but my family is really good at making mashed potatoes and gravy, so I don't get it all the time. I'm going to go with that, like turkey gravy, I love. What about you? I don't even know.
I would say stuffing's up there. Stuffing with a little bit of gravy on it, really good. I feel like gravy varies a lot, though. There's definitely bad stuffing.
And then we have our our sound engineer, McKenna, and I also want to ask her the question, because I don't know. What's your favorite Thanksgiving meal?
I would have to say green bean casserole.
Wow. Okay, do you like green of mushroom?
I've never eaten the soup by itself.
Okay.
I've always been the one to make the green bean casserole too. So there's a specific way that I make it that it's also tastes really good.
Do you like the green bean casserole when it's like not overcooked but almost a little crispy?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
I think that's
a good way.
better, but I'm so like anti to mushroom that it's just if it's
hard for you
even
to
in
get past
there.
it.
Yeah, like for example, my grandpa made gravy that was really good, and he put like little turkey bits in it, or like it's like turkey liver, because he's a really good cook, so he like implements that stuff. But it looked like mushrooms to me, so I just silently didn't say anything, didn't eat them, because I don't want to. There was an incident when I was a kid about mushrooms and me complaining. So I don't want to be that guy anymore that has a mushroom liability. So
see, I don't like mushrooms either, but I really like green bean casserole because it doesn't taste like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like cream of mushroom soup does not taste like it to me.
yeah.
But I also understand where you're coming from because I cannot stand mushrooms.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like if I even feel it in the vicinity, it's like, no.
That's fair.
Anyways, this podcast isn't about mushrooms.
No. What is it about, Sam?
It's about coffee, and we had the special Madcap today.
Madcap coffee.
Yeah, Madcap coffee, which is GR original, which is awesome.
As you know, West Michigan natives, we had a lot of fun going to Madcap because Madcap originally started in Grand Rapids and has moved its way over to Detroit, which we found out today, clarified. They did open in 2019 downtown Detroit.
Yeah, that's recent.
Yeah, right before COVID.
I really liked how it's just kind of different from other coffee places in the way that's like you got standing tables. Like, no one really does that. I mean, you'd be surprised because where we're at, you know, you got to be moving your feet. But standing tables, like a big space, their merch game is
probably
one of
second to none when it comes.
Might be the best.
Yeah, I think overall their brand presentation is really good.
They do simple good.
Yeah, and they have multiple collaborations with Premier.
Yep.
And Premier is another Grand Rapids-based company. It's a skate shop in Grand Rapids. Been there a few times. Really cool place. Also, all the people that work there are awesome. Man, they had the Premier Madcap skate deck, and it was really cool. And yeah, all their merch was awesome, which, again, is why you should be watching the video version so you can see this guy's.
Yeah, we had a cinematic entrance too.
Yeah.
I mean, we were really looking forward to some coffee. You
Yeah.
might see me run some miles.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say to you? Premier, I'm a platinum member. I've spent so much money at that place.
Really?
I get discounts like, it's because I buy so much online from there because they have such good deals, and they have a loyalty program, which just shout out Premier because I think it's a good brand. I think it's good for Grand Rapids in general to have a good skate company.
It's at least that I'm aware of. It's the only like Grand Rapids, easily recognizable.
Yeah, it's well known.
Yeah, it's Grand Rapids doesn't really have a bunch of at least like clothing brands that are stand out. At least that I'm aware of.
Well, yeah, because like Detroit's like Detroit versus everybody. Detroit hustles harder, like that kind of thing. And
right.
Yeah, GR. Shout out GR.
Yeah,
good
GR.
city.
Yeah. But we're not in GR.
No,
we're
not.
in the D.
We're in the D, and the D location was awesome. It's like right by, I don't know, it's not the Belt, but it's the other, like Parker's Row, which is like this little place where you got a bunch of restaurants and stuff, and it's just on the corner.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of the location. It is kind of in the same but like it shares part of it. It shares an entrance with
Shinola.
Yeah, the Shinola Hotel.
Yeah.
There's an entrance right next to it. I'm just a big fan of how it's a really good hybrid between like sit down and to go.
Yeah.
Like I'd say it's like a perfect 50-50 balance of like the inside layout is like you said, you got enough standing bars that people can kind of hang out and chat, but it's really well designed for just coming in, grabbing your coffee and heading out. And then also just like the overall interior space is just very well designed. It's not for everybody, it's very like chic minimalism.
Yeah, it is.
But I think it looks really nice.
And their coffee's excellent. Like I was kind of blown away with I got a latte with oat milk and a little honey, and just the way, I mean, I even complimented them because I was like, you can put honey in, but if you like shake it up and you like blend it well, it just like embodies the drink, which I love.
Literally, when we walked in, they were like making some of the syrups, and they make all the syrups in house every day. So like it's very high quality stuff. Not something we have talked about as much lately, but like it is, I would say, a tiny bit on the pricey side, but like. I don't know. Anywhere you go, you're gonna pay an average like $5.50 for a latte.
Yeah, and you're right downtown Detroit.
Yeah,
so
it's like $6
views.
here, so it's like an extra 50 cents. However, they don't charge you for ice. Some places nowadays charge you for ice, which I think is just
ridiculous.
Evil. But that's fine.
There's evil acts that happen.
McKenna, what are your thoughts on people charging you for ice if you get a coffee?
Well, I think it's ridiculous. Like, it's water that they freeze. They don't have to hardly do anything.
Yeah. My whole thing is, like, it's easier to make an iced latte than a warm one. Yeah, and you're charging more to make an iced one.
It is easier. There's, like, less steps.
Yeah. I think they do it in spite of people who ordered, like, iced lattes.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, it's just like, hey, you're the consumer. You're going to want this. Guess what? It's a little more money.
Yeah.
So get it. Or else. But anyways, that's how I feel about, just buying stuff.
Yeah.
But how was your vanilla latte?
It was great. It was really good. I've been to Madcap a bunch of times before, but generally the one in Grand Rapids. I've only been in the one in Detroit maybe once or twice. I really don't go around there that often. But yeah, I forgot just how good their lattes are. It's super tasty. They use Gunther's milk. Right? Is that the brand?
I wouldn't know. I'm oat milk boy.
There's one like oat milk, or not oat milk. There's one oat or milk brand. I think it's called Gunther's, or I could be wrong. It's
That's a good name.
But like, it's a really expensive milk, and if like a cafe uses that, I feel like it's like, oh, you don't cheap out on the milk.
I'll probably name my daughter that.
Gunther. When I think of Gunther, I think of like a World War II plane.
Oh.
Like a Gunther, like Yeah, you know how like old bomber planes had names, or
yeah.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know.
Now I know.
I think Gunther sounds like a World War II like war plane name.
Yeah, he's probably beefy.
Yeah, he's a big bomber.
Gunther the big bomber.
And you're wearing a bomber.
I am wearing a bomber. I was about to say something about your green and my green, just two different greens there.
Yeah, this is actually the only hoodie I own, if you guys haven't noticed by now.
It's actually the only outfit that Colin has.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't take it off.
I haven't got enough XP yet to actually, like, buy a new outfit. I'm not going to make a microtransaction and buy. I'm not a gemmer.
I bought $10 worth of...
XP points?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that how you got your bomber? See, you're what makes the gaming community bad.
Yeah, I know. I use XP on that,
too. I stick to it and just wear the same thing. And I'm willing to put the grind in, all right?
All right. Fair enough. Hey, I tried to do something nice for you today, but then I forgot that we have to get food as well, so it really evened out.
Yeah, Sam was so nice. We were ordering, and he's like, "Oh, and his drink too." And I was like, "For me?"
Yeah, I wanted to buy his drink today, and then I forgot that we did food, and then Colin's like, "I'll pay for the food," and I'm like, oh, "Fair enough. I can't really argue with that."
Yeah. How much was it for the?
It's $12.
Okay, mine was like $11.30. So technically, you did still pay for more. So I'm thankful.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the food was good too. I was kind of pleasantly surprised because I didn't even notice that there was food there until you pointed it out, and it was right in front of me.
Yeah, it's a very small food selection, but the food items they do carry are very good, and it's more about the quality than the quantity.
It's true. I mean, you'd rather have 4 great items than 8 bad ones.
Yeah.
Or 8 mediocre.
Yeah. Sam, what did you get?
I got the turkey and cheese croissant.
Croissant?
It was so good. Like it reminded me of Pumpernickel's old croissants. Do you?
Can you have that croissant? Sorry.
Dude, you sound like Carl.
I am Carl. What just happened?
Connor.
Oh. No, that's okay.
It's all right. Just a live studio audience making a ruckus.
Yeah.
What's new? What was I going to talk to you about? There's something I had to say. I can't believe how long it takes me to get from one side of the city to the other. I know that's really offbeat, but it took me a long time to get here today. And I know I got sushi, but it's ridiculous. Like I feel like I'm just getting left out of red lights, and I don't know. I'm just kind of airing out this complaint to you.
Actually, it's interesting you bring that up because I feel like Detroit's timing of the lights are just like it seems like they're intentionally bad.
Yeah, no, I think they're bad too. I think they'd do it longer so you hurt your brakes.
Yeah.
And then
I swear there's especially on West Warren in front of Wayne State.
Yeah.
It's literally a half-mile stretch, and it is impossible to get through there with all green lights.
No, it is.
Because you get 1 or 2 of them, and you start speeding up, and then boom, red light.
Yeah.
I swear there's somebody who's sitting in there in a control room. Look at this guy. Ready? Right? Boom. That's what it feels like.
They just ruin days.
Yeah.
That's all good. I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to bring up something bad before we talk about something good in the blueberry muffin report.
Coming up soon.
Dave Ramsey wasn't there today.
No. Dave, if you're watching, we are still looking for sponsors.
We're still looking for sponsors, and you can come on the show and talk about how good your policy is about getting a coffee every day.
Yeah, because we all know that you support broke college kids spending $10 a day at a cafe.
Yeah.
It's a very smart, economical decision to make, and we know that you recognize that. So we'd love to have you on the show so you can discuss it with us.
Please. We're begging you. But, besides the point, Dave Ramsey, he's on my brain rent-free all the time.
Yeah.
And it's messed up because Evan K., my roommate, said to me, he's like, you spend money on coffee almost every day. And I'm like, no, I didn't yesterday. And then that was a straight lie because I saw you at Red Hook yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw you
and I got a large coffee, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I lying to myself? But, that's
why we need Dave Ramsey on the show.
That's true. He's got to set me straight. But how is the blueberry muffin?
Blueberry Muffin Report today, sponsored by nobody. Dave. It was surprisingly good. I have to say that I think this is a new #1 muffin.
Man, we've had some turns in the rankings recently.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was good. It was
Yeah, it was really good. It was perfect density. It was a good size muffin too. It wasn't some dinky little muffin.
No, it was big.
Yeah. It was worth it. It was very good. Sam and I shared it. We had that much of a muffin to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by the muffin. It was very good. I don't even know where they get them or if they make them there. I don't think they make them there, but
no. Yeah, they had them in a box.
Yeah.
So it made me think no, but hey, to each his own. And if you're selling them and making a profit, that's America. So we got to give respect to Madcap, or that's Madcap. We gotta implement Madcap somewhere because that could be a good pun. But I'll get there. I was gonna ask you something. Are you a holiday person?
Like, do I get in like the holiday festivities?
Yeah. Are you like a holiday spirit?
I would
Sounds
say
like no.
I would say no until it gets like Christmas Eve, and I'm like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. Like,
So you're not Christmas.
Let me get all festive.
Christmas music's a no for you.
No,
You don't like what? Do you like? You have a favorite Christmas song?
not really. I mean, if a place is like playing Christmas music, I don't really mind it, but like, I feel like I can't. Like, if I'm getting in my car, I'm not playing Christmas music.
Okay, fair enough. Are you a Christmas person?
Not until December starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wonder because some people are letting it fly early this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the vibe. I like everyone being in a good mood and gift giving, even though like I just burn my account to gift give.
Yeah, everyone going in credit card debt to, buy something they don't need on
Okay.
Black Friday.
At least I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Dave Ramsey would kill us. Like, he would kill us. He'd be like, you guys have credit cards, you dumb idiots? I'm going to trim it, and then I'm going to cut your face.
Yeah.
That's what he would do.
He's gonna chop a card.
But, besides the point, have you been watching the World Cup?
All right, guys, don't get too mad at me. I have not really been watching the World Cup.
Okay.
To be honest, I've just never gotten into the sport. Not that I don't like it. I think it's one of those sports where, like, I don't know, like, to me, it's like when I try talking to somebody about the NBA,
Yeah.
and, like, they know who LeBron is, but, like, they don't really know who anybody else is. And you start, like, talking about, like, the teams and the rankings of, like, oh, well, this year this team's really interesting because of, like, the last 3 years. It's like, that person's not going to know what the last 3 years
Yeah.
of that team was. So I feel like everyone's excitement over the World Cup, they're, like, dating it back to, like, the last World Cup or, like, the last 2 World Cups and talking about, like, how, oh, like, the power has swung to now, like, this country is, like, a favorite versus this one.
Yeah.
And it's, like, I don't know the history of the World Cup, so to me it's, like, this huge, like, barrier to entry of, like, getting into the sport. Now, like, everyone's been having it on, and, like, I've been watching it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But, like, I don't know. I just haven't been, like, crazy into it.
I think that was a really good answer. You gave me a really good description of, like, your soccer, football knowledge. I've just gotten into it just because I've been playing FIFA and I just like the game because I think it's a pretty fun one and it's like a patient one because when U.S. scored, when they beat Iran, that header, like I felt like it was like an insane feeling I've never felt with any other sport. But I've never felt that patriotic until the World Cup. And because the World Cup, it's like these guys are going at it. They're fighting for our country. We didn't even make it last year. And then that boy Christian Pulisic, who's the best player on the World Cup, is from where my cousins are from, in like Hershey, Pennsylvania. So shout out Hershey, Pennsylvania. Do you know what Hershey is also home to?
Hershey chocolate?
Dude, that was good.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
How'd you know?
Just a random guess.
Okay, well, I just want to tell you that when I was a kid, I went to the Hershey factory, and it was one of the greatest memories of my life. You can just do what you want with that information, but I'm just telling you that at one point in the tour, it rained chocolate.
Chocolate rain?
You know, he followed me on Twitter for a little bit.
No way.
Yeah, he did, but he also was one of those, Tezande. He was also one of those guys that followed like 800,000 people. So I had some weird ones. Like
That's all right.
I had like Jose Bautista, the professional baseball player.
Right.
He followed me,
Interesting.
and then he unfollowed me.
I don't think anyone notable has ever really followed me on Instagram. It's okay.
It's kind of surprising, just because you're so dashing.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, you're welcome. Did you have anything that got you excited towards the end of the year? Are you making your resolutions? Like, tell me about your process going into December.
I don't really have like a process. Let me think about that one for a second.
Yeah, that was I just
Because you unloaded
I
a
just
big
dug out
question
a
on
deep
me.
question.
Okay, no, I do have one actually. Everyone, I think most people watching this will know who Casey Neistat is.
Yeah.
I think the best title for him is the Godfather of YouTube filmmaking.
Yeah.
That's whatever, and that's what I consider him. He's a very big inspiration of mine. I've always been heavily inspired by his work. I think he's just a great guy. And I've been reading articles about him, and especially stuff from when he was younger, because there's a lot of interesting pieces about him from when he was younger. And there's a recurring thing I've noticed that is when people ask him about his advice, or people say what would you tell somebody else. It's interesting how multiple pieces have talked about he said to not share your goals with anybody else. And I was like, well, that kind of seems what's the significance of sharing your goals, and how is it impacting you? And I know I can't summarize it as good as he can, but he basically said that when you share your goals with other people, and then those people oh, that's a cool goal, they're kind of validating your goal. And then when you keep telling that to all these different people, you're kind of getting a good feeling, because you're oh, they're supporting my goal, so that must mean it's a good goal.
Yeah.
Right? And he was saying that by doing that, you start to get satisfaction before you even have achieved your goal.
That makes sense. I was kind of thinking that halfway through.
So he was saying he was saying don't share your goals with people. Just try to just achieve them on your own, and show people your achievements of your goal, but don't tell people about it. And I don't know, I like sharing goals with people. I think it's an interesting thing to compare someone, especially while we're all in our early 20s. I think it's interesting, because I feel right now in our life, I think it's a time where our goals sway a lot.
Yeah. Versus
when you're older, I think you kind of get a little bit more honed in on what you want your goal to be. But I feel when you're younger, you're a little bit more all over the place, not totally sure what you want.
You got that leeway.
Yeah, and I think it was just interesting listening to him about doing that. So I don't know, I guess in some way, something moving forward of mine is to be a little bit more I don't know, maybe you would call it protective, but I don't know, I guess it's a little bit more to myself.
Condensed.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't know if there's anything something wrong with sharing your goals.
I know what you're saying.
But I guess, I don't know, moving forward, I think it's better to kind of just not get super excited and talk about something before it's even happened.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you're using that philosophy, will you be able to hold yourself accountable for your goal without, because when you tell other people your goals, it sometimes can be good because other people can also hold you accountable as well as yourself. So will you be able to keep holding yourself accountable without telling anybody else about it?
I was thinking about that, because at the same time, if you say it to someone, it also kind of it sets you up for disappointment, but you shouldn't think like that. It should be oh, well, these people know about my goal, now I gotta execute. But I get what he's saying too.
Yeah, I don't know, I definitely hear you, McKenna. I don't really know how to totally answer that. I don't know. It was interesting because on one hand I do see what you're saying of when you share your goals, you kind of have somebody who's gonna hold you accountable, or oh, I told them I'm gonna do this thing by this time, and now you don't want to let them down. So it does kind of help, kind of light a fire underneath you to get it done. But then I also feel when you tell somebody something, you kind of set an expectation for them.
Yeah, it's not as much yours anymore.
And I feel a lot of times when you set an idea, a lot can change. And then when you deliver it, then you're gonna be oh, that's kind of not what you said. And I don't know, I think it's okay for your ideas to change, obviously, but I think what Casey was trying to say was maybe just keep your goals to yourself until they're a real thing, and then you can share them with people, because you can be oh, 2 months ago I said I wanted to do this, 2 months later I've done it, now I can share it with people without the criticism of people saying this or that about your goals or ideas.
Oh yeah, I think it's a good thing. I was just playing devil's advocate because I think that forces you to work on yourself more when you don't tell anybody. It really forces you to focus and get it done because the only one holding you accountable is yourself.
Yeah, you're not expecting that help or that push in the right direction. You don't have that.
And in all honesty, I do feel like a lot of times I have to like tell people about my goals, and it's like it's like a roller coaster of up and down of like feeling motivated and then not being motivated. And I feel like I've recognized that in the past I've like told people my goals, and I do it in a sense because like it is validating when you tell people their goal and like, oh yeah, man, like that's a big ambitious goal. Like you should go for it. Like you can do it. And then like in the moment you're like, oh yeah, like you kind of feel like rallied up. And then when you're on your own, when it like really matters, you don't have that same drive because like you don't have it from other people. But I feel like if you're only excited about your goals when other people are validating them, I think that maybe should make you like question if those are goals that you actually want.
For sure.
People. Yeah. Bars, man. Bars.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a very long-winded answer.
I know, and like halfway through I realized I was like, we didn't even do the mean bean factor.
Oh,
You didn't
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything.
Oh, Shiba Inu.
Mean bean factor for me. I think this is gonna be the first one that I've said about this, but the coffee. I think it's the coffee. Like, I just think the variety and, like, I don't know. I can't believe I just said that, but I felt like the latte was fire.
Madcap.
I don't know if that's a cop-out, but I just feel like that's what I feel. So
I'm going to say the merch.
Yeah.
Merch/brand presentation is really strong. They have the soft enamel pins, remember?
Yeah, enamel.
Enamel.
That's the word of the day.
Enamel.
But, I mean, dude, I just wanted to ask you that one existential question. Now I'm done. I don't have anything else for you.
Okay. That's fair. Speaking of existential,
I'm excited for this.
my beloved friend and roommate, Connor, who is our live studio audience right now, him and I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey on Sunday, which was my first time ever seeing that movie.
Yeah.
And wow.
It's crazy.
I would say that's existential, right?
Yeah.
That movie's crazy.
All his movies are so, like... That one is, like... It's kind of hard to reach, like Connor and I were talking about that, but at the same time, all his other ones are so sexual that I just feel like that one leaves, like, an everlasting imprint.
Yeah. As somebody who, like, tries to always, like, learn more about, like, editing and, like, the production of movies, the whole time I was just geeking out over the fact that movie came out in 1968.
Yeah, looks
and
good.
like all those shots, I was like, how did they do that? How did they do this? Like, how? Like in the 1960s, like so many of those shots like just don't make sense. I think one of them that like was really cool is the scenes where they're kind of like in the zero gravity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what they did is they mounted the camera and they built an entire set that actually would turn.
Yeah.
And they'd have like a person on it, which is similar to what they did with Inception, when like in the rotating hallway scene. Have you ever seen that like behind the scenes? Like that stuff is just so cool.
I'm pro Inception. I think that a lot of people kind of don't like that movie because it's a little too sci-fi, but I think it's really good.
Like as a Nolan movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I just think it's entertaining. Like, it's like you take it for what it is. It doesn't have a deep story. It doesn't. Like, it's just like dream inside a dream inside a dream. But the stunts are cool. And Leonardo DiCaprio. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's fair. And
he might be dating someone over 25. So kind of a big deal.
It's not going to last.
No.
McKenna, I'm curious. Do you have any thoughts on 2001: Space Odyssey?
See, I have never seen it, which is something I have been meaning to do. Is it Kubrick? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, and I've seen almost like all of his movies besides that one.
I just watched Eyes Wide Shut, and that movie was...
That movie's crazy.
That makes me feel a bit better because I felt like I should have seen this movie already. I hadn't.
Well, it's not the most. It's like again, I'm gonna give credit to Connor. It's not the most accessible movie in the world. Like, it's really not. The Shining, I would say, is the most accessible Kubrick movie there is, and it's because it's visually pleasing. And it's got Jack Nicholson, like one of the most entertaining actors there is. Has everyone seen The Departed in this room?
Nope.
Okay. That's another great Jack Nicholson movie. And he plays like this mob boss, and then he goes, I smell a rat. Like, it's just like, it's like this biggest thing, and it's just weird. Sorry, that's it for me. I'm done talking.
All right. Well, this has been Sam and I with the Mean Bean Show.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Episode 7 comes out next week. This is episode 6 that you guys are watching right now, which...
Tell us the milestone.
I just want to say, last season we only reached 5 episodes. This is episode 6, so this officially marks that we have made more episodes in season 2, season 1. I'm just, personally pretty happy about that.
And guess what? We're for real this year. We're for real. Have you seen our videos? We're for real.
The production quality is going up every single time.
Every single time we're coming up with ideas. Every single time. We're the greatest show. Give us some money. Sponsor us, please.
Dave Ramsey, come on, please.
If you guys threw us some money each week, we'd be happy. Okay, I gotta stop bagging. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for having me as well.
Oh, McKenna, you are great.
You are always welcomed.
All right. Good night.